Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Wednesdays. Today I'm joined by Joey Collins, all the way from Nottingham, England, and we're really excited to talk to him about his new single, Fade Out, just as well as all things Joey Collins. How's it going?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Um, so I've actually met Joey on Twitch, and I feel like Twitch has just become like this insane music community during this time, and it's just so unreal to be able just to find talented people like you on there.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's because I was only aware of Twitch from like the gaming side,
Yeah,
and I feel so late to the party. Like I didn't realize musicians were using it, and I heard it on a music marketing podcast. I was driving, delivering pizza for work, and I heard this music marketing podcast, and this lady was saying, "Oh, Twitch is the future for it." So I was like, kind of got my brain, thinking. So I was like, I'll pop on, and then yeah, it was just like this huge discovery of like awesome people that I can't believe how much like support there is on there. I feel like I've had more support on Twitch in the past 7 weeks than I have the past 6 years of playing music in real life. It's weird.
that's crazy. Compared to like playing music on stage and playing music on Twitch, like how different are those two feelings? Both like in a good way and a not good way.
So in not a good way, I'd say the seeing people in real time and the reaction, seeing people's faces or seeing people maybe moving or moshing or, always seeing that person at the back who's got their arms crossed and it's like, yeah, they're all right. Just, I don't know, I think going to live shows and it's all about energy, you kind of, everyone's in it together. It's like you're feeding off the audience. I've played gigs to literally a room of one person, and if you can still feed back from that one person, it's still good on stage, right? But on Twitch or any streaming platform, it's like obviously you do get a reaction because it's through text or emojis like the claps or whatever. And to begin with, it was weird for me to kind of. I wasn't used to it, and I hated streaming. I did a couple of Instagram lives, and I hated it because it just made me feel like really, I don't know, it's just weird, like staring at myself on the screen and being like, waiting for like some noise after playing. There's no noise coming. It's just weird. But yeah, and for the good side of it though, is just like, I feel like the best thing about being on Twitch for me was learning to not take myself too serious. Because on stage, I feel like if you do one thing wrong, I could go off stage and be like, oh, that was a bad gig, or I'd beat myself up over playing like a mistake. Whereas on Twitch, it's like, well, you would have seen, it's like the amount of times I would have messed up or goofed around and just kind of learned to own it, and just, it kind of shows more of a human side and the vulnerability. And I think people then relate to that more because we're all goofy and we all make mistakes and stuff. So it's kind of done me good to kind of laugh at myself even more and stop taking myself as serious. I mean, I don't really take myself super serious anyway, but especially if in real life playing a gig, I would be very like, no, I made one mistake, like terrible, But yeah, so I think that's probably the differences for me.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's definitely pros and cons between both, because obviously it's really great to be able to see the people in person, like get that energy, but when you're not feeling like you're performing as much, like when you're on stream, you can, like you said, just be more of yourself and like be a goofball.
Yeah,
you want. So it's a little more free.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's cool because it's just like, I don't know, like you almost, and it's weird because you don't see, like, so for example, obviously I know what you look like because we're talking now, but it's weird because you don't know exactly how all these people look as you would at a real gig. but then they almost like the personalities come through in people's responses, and it's like you feel like you know these people. Like it's so surreal and bizarre, and I've never experienced something like that. But it feels like such a good place and a really nice community. And yeah, I'm just super thankful that I've found it and found all these people such as yourself as well.
It's almost like even if we're like, since we're not in person, even though like we're still talking to each other, like it feels easier to like talk because
Yeah, definitely.
instead of like if I'm at a show, like, oh, like I don't know if like Joey's busy, I don't want to like go and bother him. Like it might be
Yeah,
easier
it feels
for
more
people to
familiar,
like,
doesn't it?
yeah, it might be easier
Yeah,
for people to connect that way. So
definitely.
it's nice. Do you think you'll once you can play shows again, like take what you've learned from like playing on Twitch and like those feelings and carry it over?
I think yeah. To be fair, because it's so strange now to even think about playing a real gig, because it's been, when did I play my last real gig? We had like a little grace period in England where I don't know if it was a month or 2 months where we could kind of play shows outside,
Mm-hmm.
but under strict, social distancing measures and all that. And I remember playing that show, and that feels like that never even happened now, because it was last summer or something. But I think I will apply that kind of, not beating myself up, not taking myself too serious. I think it's important to kind of show that vulnerability. And I think, like I said beforehand, I'd very easily just let myself get upset if I made a mistake, or I don't know, played the wrong chord, or maybe said something stupid that I shouldn't have said. But whereas nowadays it's just like, as long as I turn up and do my best, it's all that I can do. So
Yeah, and I think that's a good mindset to have, especially going into whatever you're doing next.
yeah, it's gonna be weird though, like because I've gotten so used to Twitch now, so it feels like, I don't know, I can't imagine playing in real life again. Almost, it's weird.
Actually, I was watching somebody else who just recently started on Twitch, but he did an Instagram live last night, and a lot of people who were in the chat were like joking and putting in like Twitch commands. They're like, "This is weird. Why are we not on Twitch?"
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's like you kind of get sucked into that world of like, the lurk. And when I joined Twitch, I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, I don't fit in this place. I don't understand all the terminology and all that. But it's like me saying poggers now. It's like I never used to say that. But yeah, it's a brilliant world.
Yeah. So we'll backtrack a little bit. I've heard a little bit about this before through Twitch, but I would love for you to like just say a little bit about how you got into music and where that like love for music came from.
Sure. So I kind of guess the roots of it was early childhood, just being, like my mum and dad showing me various music, and then my dad and mum both have like very eclectic tastes. So I was, introduced to reggae, Bob Marley, Finley Quaye, to, the Chili Peppers, Led Zeppelin, loads of different styles. And I think the Chili Peppers, who were my favourite band, I ended up watching a DVD concert of them when I was like 6 or 7, and it was the one where they're live at Slane Castle, which is in Ireland. And I remember just kind of watching that and going like, yeah, that's cool. I want to do that. And ever since then, I picked up a bass at 8, and my dad started teaching me bass guitar. I started playing electric guitar in secondary school or high school. And then started playing in the band at school, but I was just a guitar player. I never sung like in public then, because I was way too shy and awkward. It wasn't until I went to college that we formed this kind of like grunge band called Sat in a Sand with my mates, and I ended up being the singer of that, and sung pretty badly, to be honest. um, and yeah, and then I moved to London in 2015 to study music, and the opportunity kind of came about just to be a solo artist, I guess, because we were all, you know, too far away to practice in the band I was in. So I started just gigging by myself, and kind of, yeah, never looked back from that really. And it's easier when you're just a solo artist because you don't have to kind of organise. We've got to be here by this time, and especially four blokes, it's like it's so hard to get the band. You know, there's always someone who's got something on. So yeah, it's just easy being solo.
Yeah. So you said that you were really shy about playing music in the beginning. When did you
Oh
kind
god.
of start gaining that confidence, or like have you fully gained that confidence to be like a performer?
Hmm. Definitely just through doing it. To be honest, like I was terrified. I remember there's literally a DVD of me at the school concert when I'm 16. I can't remember. It's probably Coldplay Fix You or something. I was doing the guitar solo in it. My mum's got it on DVD, and I
Oh,
remember just like you just see this tiny boy on stage, like just looking down, like you can't even see my face, just like the hair and the guitar, because I just it was just so like it just provoked so much anxiety, and especially at that age where you're just so like self-conscious and you want to fit in. So being on stage was literally like this the worst thing that could happen, but then the best thing for my confidence and growth. And just through, I guess through doing the stuff in my grunge band, because I was the front man as well, which I was really uncomfortable with to begin with. It just kind of forced me to, you know, put me in that place of vulnerability. And then yeah, just through doing loads and loads and loads of gigs, it's just kind of helped, you know. I think I wouldn't even be able to go on Twitch like back then. Like the thought of going on Twitch when I was like 17 or 18, I would have just been like, nope, nope.
oh my God. Yeah. I give props to you for, sticking it through and figuring out like that you can do this, and this is something that you're like you really love.
Yeah.
Awesome. What are some of the things that inspire you to write music?
Ooh, good question. I think a lot of my songs to begin with were very introspective, and a lot of them were songs about mental health and my own kind of battles with mental health problems. So I kind of wrote the music as a therapy almost for my life at that point in time. It's I think only lately now I'm kind of in a better place that I've started writing a little more less about me and more maybe about just kind of generically speaking. So like maybe not just, you know, today's a bad day, I'm gonna vent it into a song, but it's like, and the thing is that I even started, there's a new song that I've not released, but I started kind of writing a little bit politically, but then it kind of scared me because I don't want to kind of attach myself to some, you know, political side, because to be honest, I'm just smack bang in the middle of politics. I don't trust any of them, and it's just one of them things. But a few of my favorite bands are very political, like Rage Against the Machine. There's a band in Britain called Enter Shikari. They're very political. Um, yeah, I kind of just want to write about real things, that they have to be real, and I have to be true to myself with it. I can't just write. I can't just write, you know, any old nonsense. It's got to come from an honest place.
Yeah.
So in short, yeah, I write honest music that's probably emotional and positive more recently.
So your new song Fade Out, that's out, where did the inspiration for that song come from? I've listened to it, and it's, you can tell just from like the big first like swell of the music in the beginning that it's going to be like emotionally hitting, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm ready for this.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I feel like it's like I don't know, the sister track of the last single, Feed Me Your Love. They're both kind of similar sounding songs in terms of hard rock guitars. But on this latest song, Fade Out, I've even put in some like 80s synth bass and some weird synthy sort of sounds that you'll notice in there. Just sprinkling them in. But yeah, Fade Out was a song that was kind of mostly inspired by the lockdown we're all in. And it kind of came from this place where it just, obviously we've been in it for a year now, and it was just like, it felt hopeless. It felt like we weren't coming out of it at any point. So this song was kind of dealing with the emotions of like the self-doubt of like just being fed up in it. But then like the lyrics in it, like one day all of this will end. It's kind of that kind of glimmer of hope that, you know, we will come out of it. It was kind of, yeah, I guess I write a lot about balance, you know, good and bad, being happy, being sad. So I think it was just, yeah, me trying to vent, you know, yeah, this lockdown sucks and it feels like it's never going to end. But then the positive side of me was like, it will eventually. Just, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, keep the momentum, keep writing, stay busy. And yeah, I think that's what it's about mostly.
Yeah, and you also gave a good balance too with the music in that song. I felt like there was kind of a roller coaster ride of like big like swells of like, oh my god, I'm gonna scream now, but also like, let's be quiet and whisper, and like, oh
yeah, exactly.
And it like brings you on this ride of like, okay, I'm like, how do I feel? I feel like making me feel all the things at once, and it was cool.
That was definitely like the kind of idea. And it's funny because the guy who mixed it, Guy Eldfield, he's like a legendary mix engineer. He's awesome. He's also from Nottingham. He's worked with like the Libertines, Jimmy Eat World, Dog Is Dead, who are a big band in Nottingham. And he even said to me like, dude, what is up with this structure? Like, because it's kind of an unconventional structure, isn't it? It's like it opens up with the chorus put in an instrumental way, and then it goes into quite a short verse, into a hard chorus, and then it just goes like, it just stops, and it's like, wait, where does it go from here? And then abruptly it comes back in, and it's just a bit of an unconventional, I guess, song structure. And I like writing, you know, unconventional songs. They don't have to be like verse, chorus, solo, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. It just kind of, you said it right. It's the lyrics and the message being this balance. I kind of imitated that musically as well.
Yeah, and it also like just imitates how like, because it's about like lockdown, like these feelings you get during this time, and kind of imitates like everyone's kind of up and downs of that whole time too.
Yeah,
feeling like those same feelings through that song.
Yeah, definitely. That kind of roller coaster of emotions we feel, because it is weird, isn't it? In this lockdown, it's like you'll notice on stream, I'm like happy. What day is it even? Because it's just every day to me really is the same. And you know, some days you wake up and you're just like, oh, here we go again, you know. But then there's other days where I'm feeling pretty optimistic, and I'm kind of super grateful for the lockdown. Aside from all the horribleness of it, it's kind of taught me to be more patient, and you know, having that distraction of like, for example, not going out all the time, and you know, maybe drinking too much or just being distracted by the world and all these things going on, because we live in such crazy accelerated times. It's kind of given me this nice period of time just to kind of sit with myself and learn that, you know, the simplest things can be just as fun when forced to do so. So it's been quite a learning discovery for me.
Yeah, I feel like for a lot of people too, because like you said, everyone's usually like kind of distracted and like going, and thinking about a million different things at once, and it kind of forces you to halt for a little bit.
Exactly, yeah. Take a good look in the mirror and be like, okay, I need to learn to sit with myself, and this is horrible, but the more I do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah, I think the world might have needed a little pause.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. But it's so sad, like here in England, it's kind of off topic to be honest, but um, that we had sunshine, we had sun for like the past 2 days, which is, as you probably aware, it's a rare occasion in England, and so everyone's like outside, But it's really sad because on social media we saw like loads of like country parks that have just been obliterated with litter, and you just think, you know what, we don't deserve this planet. It's almost just like, you get 2 days of sun and then everyone just starts treating the planet like dirt. It's just, I don't know, it's just one of them things where you just, I lose kind of faith in humanity a little bit sometimes, where it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're like, oh, all it takes, to do this destruction is like 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, it's like, how pathetic is that? Like 2 days of sunshine and we forget how to put rubbish in a bin. It's like such a backward species, honestly. It's like, come on, guys.
It's one of my biggest pet peeves when I'm at a concert, usually like an inside concert, and someone leaves a cup on the floor. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
why? There's
Or when they throw
trash.
When they throw it.
Yeah, or they
or they wee in it and throw it.
Yeah. But yeah, they just like leave it on the ground. And I'm like, you can hold it until you leave. Or you can leave it on the ground and then pick it up.
And then pick it up.
When you leave.
Yeah. It's such a strange thing, isn't it? Like, I don't know. People.
Yeah. But it's safe to say that, you've gotten a lot of inspiration out of this time. You've been writing a lot. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. It's been probably my most successful year, which is really weird to say, because there hasn't really, I've done one gig like throughout this whole pandemic, and I think maybe because it's forced me to be maybe more creative with my marketing. Obviously finding stuff like Twitch has been a huge help in exposing my music and just getting to know an audience as well, and other musicians. There's so many other good musicians on there. But yeah, I think to kind of, especially writing wise, it's forced me just to kind of chill out in the studio more. There's no pressures of performing, so you have more time to focus on the music itself.
Yeah.
Whereas before you'd be juggling, marketing, playing gigs, designing your artwork. Being a musician these days, it is like you have to be a multimedia expert. You have to. I mean, I'm terrible at it. I really can't be asked to do my social media posts. It's just like, oh, I want a manager. If anyone knows a manager, hook me up.
You're always looking for a social media manager. This is an advertisement.
Literally, because I'd love to just take all my time and write music.
Yeah.
I don't want to be staring at my phone and networking all the time, and it's great connecting with people, don't get me wrong, but the kind of mundane admin side of it where you just like, oh, I need to do a post today. It's like my single coming out. Oh, it's like I've not really done a proper promotional campaign because I've just been like, oh, I'm just having too much fun with Twitch, or just too busy doing other things. Like, but hey, it's all good.
Yeah, there's too many things to think about.
And I think that's the trouble, isn't it? These are the times we live in. It's like so accelerated. It's like, what's next? And it's like, even this, I've learned with time and releasing quite a lot of music, it's like, just enjoy the release and try not to worry about, okay, what's the next song after this? It's like, I'm going to kind of bask in this song and not get too carried away with, right, you need to get another song out in 6 weeks. Because again, that goes against my kind of philosophy of being a songwriter. I need to write when it feels right. I'm not just going to release a song because I've not released one for 6 weeks.
You've been releasing a lot of music in the past year, because you released 2 EPs, like 20. the single in February and the single now. So
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Um, yeah, I'm a busy bee when it comes to writing. I do just love music, and I do love writing, and I love producing, and having like a home studio. It's nothing fancy or anything, but it's just that for me is my downtime. Just to sit and kind of mess about with sounds. And it was funny because even basically after the second EP, I said to myself, I said, right, I'm not going to do any music for a bit. Like, I deserve a break. And then one day I sat down in the studio, early January, and I wrote "Feed Me Your Love" in like a couple of days, and I was like, I like this song. I think I'll release it. And then I was like, okay, for real though. After this one, I'll have a rest. And it's just not happening. So there'll probably be a few more songs this year coming out.
It's as long as you're not like forcing yourself to do it and it's just you wanting to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're the best types of songs for me, the spontaneous ones where you're not like, if you go into a song like with a premeditated idea, I think for me personally anyway, it's like I can just end up staring at the screen and being like, it needs to be like this, it needs to sound like that, or it has to have this message. And for me, it doesn't work. It needs to just pour out naturally. So that's how this is why it's happened, because I've said to myself, right, Joey, no more songs, chill. Then I'll just, have a little tinker, and next thing I know, I've got a song, and I'm like, God damn it.
Just like, the what's that word? Like, not alternative psychology, but like, when you try to like psych yourself out and like say one thing and then you make yourself do the other.
Exactly, yeah. And that's exactly it. It's a blessing and a curse, but I'm happy, so that's all that matters, I guess. It's not like too stressful. I think I'm just obsessive probably with creating, but obsessed in a healthy way, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Yeah, for artists and musicians, like you do have to be a little bit obsessed with your work because that's what you do.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it is important to learn to have periods of time off, which I definitely need to work on, because I don't know how to stop sometimes. It's even like at home, or if I'm driving, I'm always thinking about either like music in one way of creating it, or daydreaming about performing it. And it can be very distracting. Someone could be talking to you and you're just there like, oh, that bridge section, nah, the bass needs to come down. And then someone's talking to you, just like, oh yeah. So I do need to learn to kind of leave it at home in the studio sometimes, but I'll work on it.
Yeah. Well, I know I thoroughly enjoyed the song so far. I already like played it a million times.
Thank you so much.
And if you ever add it to your song list on Twitch, you probably shouldn't, because I'll like request it and you'll just like die.
I don't know if I dare, because it's the same with the last single. I don't. Well, A, I've not figured out how to play it by myself yet. I've not even. And B, because I think my vocals, because it's quite an angsty, emotional song on vocals.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it got requested, it would ruin me for the rest of the stream.
Yes. Yeah. Well, if any of you haven't heard Joey's new single "Fade Out" yet, please go give it a listen. It is amazing. It'll make you feel the things. And check out the rest of his music too while you're out there. Thank you very much for joining me today, Joey. I'm so excited.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, honestly.
Of course. And thanks everyone for watching, and until next time.